Desperate.
things is hard for everybody, but I don't think I should be charging you to go to the toilet.
That wasn't much fun.
Well, it's a good job Lady Gaga wasn't playing on it, or maybe she wouldn't have had 20p. It's a good job she went to the Odyssey.
Well, she was too busy in the town dressed up as somebody else.
Well, she maybe couldn't afford to go to the King's Hall.
Mr. Greer, thank you very much. We're going to give Francis the last 30 seconds. Hello, Francis.
Hello, Joel, and thank you for bringing me up on air.
You're welcome. 30 seconds, away you go.
Tell you,
yes.
I'm sure a bad story about a bus if I tried.
Okay.
But I want to just finish on this upbeat note.
Yes.
That's a very, very stressful job. Hard job. And on the whole...
What, my job?
No, yours is hard too.
Oh, the bus
yours
drivers.
Is hard too.
Yes.
But the bus drivers.
Yes.
It's a hard old job. Now, on the whole, they're very safe. Very seldom do you hear of serious accidents. They're very, very helpful.
Yes.
And I'd just like to say that on the whole, I'd like to thank them. And I'd like to thank particularly the drivers on routes like the Newry-Belfast route and the Derry area. And I'd like to thank them all.
Francis, you see, it's lovely to have somebody like you on the programme because, as Gerry Anderson would know, whenever Stephen's here, he doesn't let nice people.
Francis is a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Jerry's a very nice gentleman too. And hello, Gerry.
Hello, Francis. Francis was on our bus when we took all the objects down to the Ulster Museum.
Had you a good bus driver, had you?
He was a lovely bus driver. He was there and he brought me all the way back, didn't he, Gerry?
A very, very civilised outing, I thought it was, all round. And I hope you enjoyed it, Francis.
Bet you he wasn't reading the paper while he was driving the bus or doing the crossword or texting people.
I was out of there 2 minutes past 12.
or driving with his elbows, as somebody told us a bus driver was today, Gerry.
Absolutely not. Nice to talk to you, Francis. How are you? Okay? Always away. You see, you won't let me talk to people.
Yeah, it's a disgrace.
20p to get to the toilet in the King's Hall.
Indeed,
is that it?
apparently so, yes.
I've been in some toilets I'd have paid a fiver to get out of.
I bet you would have. And Gerry, can I say how much I enjoyed your big exclusive interview yesterday on the programme with Nadine Coyle?
It was a joy.
It was one of the broadcasting moments of the year.
Thank you. It's very rarely that Nadine gets to the stage whereby she really pours her heart out to someone from her own city.
Will she be in today at all, will she?
I don't think so. I'm meeting her on Thursday night and I will have to face the full retribution of her invective.
It was tremendous. I think people should listen again if they didn't get to hear it yesterday. Nadine live on Gerry's programme.
Exclusive interview all the way from California. See you later.
Bye.
I'm GMAC today.
Yeah, for sure there's. Let's hit some red numbers in there.
I can't see what's going on all the time. And I know we should stay inside. Stay awake, you don't let on. It's the night. And I know I'm not scared of the dark. But I'm not scared of the dark. Say
That's a good song. That's called I'm Not Made of Eyes. That's General Fiasco. Not a forgotten leader in the Spanish Civil War at all, but a well-known group from Northern Ireland who are doing very well for themselves. Good morning. Gerald Michael Anderson here. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme on this fine November day is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And if you want to send me a text message, well, I will probably ignore, but I may not because I'm getting quite good at, reading out text messages. It's 08771. Is it that? Is that what it is? 08771?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
08.
Listen, I'm getting terribly worried.
What?
I think people are beginning to realise how this programme works.
Why?
The start of it was the outside broadcast on Friday when they actually could see us. And they could see us what we did. And they realised how easy it is to do this programme. And I think when they saw us, they realised, that we were bluffers.
Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. Can we just, let's say this.
This is only... No.
Kimosabe. Aye, let's say that. You sat in your backside and did nothing.
No, but what I'm saying is the perception of the people who came down and saw us. They looked at all of us and realised that none of us were doing anything.
No, I was grafting.
No, but you didn't appear to be grafting.
I made it look easy.
You made it look easy because you were sitting there with your arms folded looking round you. And you looked for all the world like a person who was sitting with his arms folded looking round him. You looked like that. That's what you looked like a guy doing. And you didn't look as if you were doing anything. A man has written to me this morning, and I can't read out the letter because it's of a personal nature, and he announces his resignation from the programme. He's not listening anymore. And do you know why? He said, because we don't do anything. And he said he's fed up with my stories.
You see, I told you that. I've been telling you that for years.
But I never listened to it. But it's the first time I've ever heard it from an outside source.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to say there are people out there who are fed up with my stories and don't want me to tell them
Can you mention
again?
the man's name?
No, I can't. No. We didn't give it. There was a lot of invective in it.
Oh.
He was quite abusive, but I understand that because this is a free country, and after all, if a person puts himself forward on the radio, he expects to be. See, a lot of people on the radio have got very kind of tender egos, and they come on here. I could name you some people now. I'm named one this morning upstairs. There are people out there who on the radio, and they don't realise that people out there may not like them. Because it's the story. Remember what Jackie Fulton said to us once? If you go on the radio or television, 30% of the people will like you, 30% of the people will hate you, and the other 70% will have no idea who you are. That's 130%.
Yes.
Anyway, but that's what he said. He couldn't count either. But one of the things I have to say is that when you're on the radio like this, you see, I'm
Jackie
well adjusted.
studied too for accountancy.
Pardon?
Jackie studied accountancy. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, not so just...
Thanks for telling me that. I think it was important that I knew that, even though I knew it already. Now, what I'm saying is this. When you go on the radio, you have to have a certain amount of ego because you want people to hear you. Now, that's not the reason I went on the radio. I came on the radio because, by pure
No,
accident.
you've told us that story before.
I'm not... You see, this is the very thing I'm talking about.
Yes, you've told us
But
all that
I know,
before.
but see, I'm not going to tell the story. All I'm saying is that I was never on the radio because I wanted to be. I was on the radio because I walked in off the street and a fella said to me, why don't you do this? And he said, I'll give you some money. So I did it. There are people who sit at home, and make little microphones out of Lego.
That
and
man
stand
being
in
Maureen
front of-
Hegarty.
What?
That man being Maureen Hegarty. Or Maureen Gallagher.
Maureen Hegarty.
Maureen Gallagher, beg your pardon,
I
Maureen.
didn't know who you were talking about there.
That was the man.
It's good to get these names right. Then I know who you're talking about. But you know the people, and you
At
read
least,
about them in the
at least
paper.
I got the sex right.
Well, that's not what your wife says. And one of the things that you read in the papers, you read stories about these people who are broadcasters, people like Philip Schofield. They were up in their bedrooms when they were 5 and building little radio stations.
What's wrong with that?
Because
What's so wrong about
tell you
having
what's-
an ambition?
no,
Mary's a
it's-
wee boy sat in his bedroom
it's
pretending
ego.
to drive a train.
It's ego.
Yeah, what's wrong with pretending to drive a train? Or
Did
be
I
a-
say pretend to drive a train?
No, but what is
No.
what is wrong?
I'll tell you what the
with
difference
that?
is. If you would listen to me, I'll tell you what the difference is.
What?
The difference is if a man sits up in his room and he builds a little train out of sticky back plastic and pretends to ride it, that's not bad. But a man who sits up in his room with a little microphone listening to himself talking is a different thing entirely. That's an ego. That's an ego. That's not. There's one thing wanting to do something, and the other one is wanting to be heard by everyone.
No.
People who are on the radio and TV, it's not enough that one person loves them. They need everybody to love them. So when they come on the radio, when they want to be on the radio all the time, and they go on the radio or television, and then suddenly people say bad things about them, and they're hurt Because they don't expect that. And I have always been hurt because I've always expected it. So this man has resigned now because I don't tell new stories. Well, I tell new stories. I can make them up, you know. Will I get some new stories?
Yes.
And then, coincidentally, it was brought home to me forcefully, and a man writes a separate man writes to me. A separate man writes and sends me 3 foolscap papers, famous quotes by Gerry Anderson.
Right.
You haven't seen this?
No.
Well, I read them.
A couple, just not 3 pages.
I'm going to read them all.
No.
They're just quotes.
Okay.
These are things that I say,
Right.
which leads me to think that perhaps, you know, I shouldn't be saying them anymore. When I hear the clink of a banjo, something happens within me.
Right.
When a dog gets up on its hind legs and starts hurpling, he is on its way to recovery. Once you have been to Italy, you can never go on holidays to anywhere else. I'm a joke-free person because I don't know when to laugh when the person's telling me the joke. When sailors come off the boat, they've only 2 things on their mind, drink and women, in that order. It helps if you're short when you're the underdog. I've been hurt, but I know that inside me lies a decent human being. You're either warm to me or you don't. I was normal until I got introduced to music. I will never do an after-dinner speech again. If I was a Chilean miner, I would stay there. That's my room 101, being buried alive. If I had that information at my fingertips, I could tell you about it. The listeners know more about the BBC than we invariably do. Any of those strike a chord?
Not really.
I don't know how I'm still here, the things that I've done. I think it's all in my genes. If I had my life to live over, my greatest wish would be that I could be a paleontologist. Well, you know that.
Yeah, you said that last week.
I'm a closet paleontologist. I can't take compliments. I'm not used to them. This is making me think back. There was a time when I spent a little more time than necessary taking drink in the first floor of the Europa Hotel. When eating an egg and bacon bap, the yolk needs to be soft so it runs down your fingers, or else it's no good.
I thought there was something wrong with it. It's 81771.
What?
The text number. I wasn't.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what you were.
wasn't married
Sometimes
to it when you
when
give
somebody
it
says, "I think there's something wrong with that," and gives you a stream of numbers, I don't know what they're talking about. 81771 is our text message. I have moved away from my working class habits. Next Saturday, I'm going to go into a cafe and ask for a hummus bap. There are always 2 guys in the band, the boy in front, the pretty boy that all the girls like, and then there's a boy in the back that does all the hard work that the women don't like. That's me.
Well, when you were up the stairs learning the guitar,
In my bedroom?
you wanted to play in a band.
No.
Yes, you did. You wanted to be like your big brother.
No, this is the difference.
No, come
This
off. It's
is the
not-
difference. This is the difference. And this has plagued me all my life. No, I never wanted to be in a band because I never saw my brother play. All I heard him doing was playing his trombone in his bedroom. And I used to sit down and I'd listen to his records. He had all these jazz records and he had all this different stuff. And I would listen to the music and I'd say, I love this music, I want to play. So I decided that I would play the music that I heard. So I got a guitar and I went upstairs and I played for years and years and years. And then a fella came to my... This is a story again. A fella came to my door and he said, would you like to play in a band? I said, what? I never, ever wanted to be on stage. And you know that I don't like being on stage.
No.
You know that I hate being on stage. That's why I say to myself, with my hand in my heart, I'm not a glory hunter like the rest of them. I hear they're doing that, do you come here often? Should it not be, why do you come here often? Any man who drinks 3 pints of Guinness should be worried about himself. And here's one that you might remember. There's something that I will never, ever say. Do you want some of your granddad's porridge? It's about me. Do you see I can still talk about me when I'm talking about you? On celebrities. I was the first person to notice Kylie Minogue's bum. Elvis is hand-toed and pigeon-chested.
I still don't believe that.
Wendy Austin is an Indian. Linda McCauley isn't, but that's not an insult. Nadine Coyle's legs are her weakest point. They're too skinny. Kylie Minogue is so short, she's almost invisible. Jordan and Cheryl Cole have something in common. They have no waist, straight up and down, like young boys. Christine Blakely will come out smelling of roses, like you never did. Linda Welby is not like anyone else. I think I know enough about Tony Curtis to last me a lifetime. Life is too short to watch anything with Bono in it. I don't like U2. It's not that their music does. It's not that I don't like their music. It's Bono. If you meet people before they're famous, you don't like them. I don't think they're going to change. That's all I'm saying.
Bono gets a lot of press, and I must put my hand up and confess that I
like him.
There's something about the guy and you don't even know him. I've never been in the same street as him. You know,
I've met him. I don't like him.
Judge.
You probably like him because he plays golf.
Does he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You sensed it. You smelled it in the air.
I
know he's a golfer by looking at him.
No, I say I don't like him. I've judged the man, and I've never spoken to him. That's
never. Don't judge lest you be judged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was up in Belfast on Saturday night, says Shane, and I got a black taxi from Lavery's Bar to Penrose Street, opposite the Hatfield pub. That's a statement as old as time itself. How many men have got into a taxi in Lavery's Bar and said, "Take me to Hatfield"? But due to some loose pockets in my Halloween costume, it doesn't specify which Halloween costume he was wearing, I believe my personal mobile phone slipped out of my pocket into the taxi street stroke floor.
What's Hatfield?
It's a pub in Belfast, in Penrose Street. It's a very, very unique and old frontage of a pub.
Is it?
It's a great pub.
Could a man walk to it from the Europa Hotel?
He could, but he'd be tired after it.
Oh, how far?
Too far for you.
Is it?
No, it's not really.
What?
Not far. It'll take you about half an hour. I'd really appreciate it if you could put out an announcement on your show. I am offering a reward for its safe return, a reward amounting to £50. It's a HTC, and I suppose I should say H for the benefit of the divided community, Desire. It's got a picture of it here. It's got no distinguishing marks. It is pin-locked, so it's no good to anybody. I can provide you with a serial number to prove ownership if it's handed to you. There's no need. This is not the PSNI here. I trust you. Any man who hands in a phone to me that looks like yours and you ring up and say it's mine, I will not ask you for any ID. So there we are. Anyone who found that or saw that, it's a HTC or a HTC Desire. I've never heard of that. Remember the phone I gave you and you won't use it?
Oh, that phone. Do you want it back to you?
Yes, I do. You got it under false pretenses. You shamed me into giving it to you. Mm-hmm. On Halloween night, says Michelle, my daughter and I went to a fancy dress party. We couldn't be bothered dressing up, but we were dolled up. So when anyone sarcastically asked us what we'd come as, we said, we're transvestites. Anyway, who was there but Nigel Porter? Nigel Porter, a very nice man. He was down at our outside broadcast in Blackstaff on Friday, remember? Mm-hmm. A nice guy. That's the first time we met him. Very nice guy. He was dressed up as Ozzy Osbourne. He'd be good at that. Wearing a black suit, black T-shirt, big medallion and a long black wig. I told him he looked very handsome and sexy. He replied, well, Michelle, as Gerry Anderson once said, you're a fine-looking woman. That's because I couldn't remember her name. Meanwhile, my brother was remarking how my daughter had blossomed and said, how can something so beautiful come from an ugly mug like yours? Pointing at me. Well, I was hurt. Of course you were hurt. People say things on Halloween night, without thinking. And it makes people uneasy. You see, this is what's annoying me. Do you think I'm past my sell-by date?
Well, yeah. Well, in a way.
Well,
yeah.
thanks.
In a way. There was Nout on telly last night. Did you notice that?
I don't know. I've stopped everything. Now that I've no longer got any use for the general public, I think I'll just slip away. There's a new band from Derry, Stoke, Londonderry called Tanya and the Whiskey Princess. This is good. I like this. What's a girl to do?
Did you notice me when I fell into your arms from hell? And did I catch you by surprise? Now did you worry what they'd say when you called me 10 times a day? Well, I know you simply didn't care. Now you have a great way of being you, of being smart and cute. Well, what's a girl to do? You are great at being part of us, the guy we love and trust to get us through this life. couple of you with red hair, and she's getting bigger every day. Now do you wonder where we'll be when you get down on one knee? I'm sorry I didn't mention that, did I now? You have a great way of being you, of being funny and rude. Well, what's a girl to do? You are great at being part of us, the guy we hold dear and trust to always make us smile. What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? Do you have dreams I don't know of, like making angels in the snow, in some far-off country? Now do you picture us by your side as you hurtle down a vertical slide in a theme park in your mind? Now you have a great way of being you. You look so good in the nude. Well, what's a girl to do? You are great at being part of us, the guy we love and trust to get us through this life. What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do for you?
That's a band called Tanya and the Whiskey Princess. That's an album called One More Time for Fluffy and the One More Time for Fluffy and the Blue Jays, and that's a song called What's a Girl to Do. Has Ken been in here?
Ken hasn't been about this morning.
Well, this CD is stuck on welcome.
Well,
It says welcome, and then it won't welcome you. It won't go away. It just says welcome, 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 welcome.
Well, what he can do is disconnect it at the back. And
Oh, can he?
yes, he'll show
Well, this
you.
makes things very difficult for
He'll
me.
make us. Well, if you could take a call, I'll put the call out for Ken to
Will you
come
please?
urgently.
Yes,
to
I
the
want him to come in
studio.
and fix this during the news. I'm fed up
Okay.
with this inefficiency.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
morning, Gerry.
Yes, who's that?
It's Mickey Todd here.
Yes, Mickey, how are you?
Hey, that last song, I'm all right, thanks. That last song there, someone's snoring during the song.
Someone what?
Snoring during the song. You can definitely hear someone snoring as the song was playing.
Oh, no, that's a thing. It's a kind of an instrument. I don't know what it's called. It's a thing that people use in recording studios. It goes. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, don't you concern yourself with that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
What can we do for you
It's like
today?
a can on the table, is it?
Ken has been on the table many a time, but maybe not today.
So that's all right then.
That's what he's good at.
I just wanted to make sure there's nobody lying about snoring there.
Yes, that's all right. Is that all you wanted to know? You want to make
That's all I
sure.
wanted to know. It just sounded like someone was snoring, or there's a pig in the studio or something like that.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay, Jack.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
What a riveting call, Sean.
Look.
Thank you for that.
That's Janet's her first day back.
Well, she'd need to smarten up a bit, wouldn't she?
You know, and the man said, I want to complain about that record. There's a man snoring on it.
I know.
So that was it.
That's pure ignorance on that man's part. He
Yeah.
doesn't realise it's an accepted musical instrument.
yeah.
If I knew the name of it, I could blind him with
Now,
science.
there's the thing. I was trying to think of that. I have no idea what you call it.
It's
You should
called
know
it's
that.
some kind of a. It's
Yeah.
used in. It's an African instrument, basically. That's the same sound you make when you're having your lunch. I recognise that sound.
I've no idea what it's called.
No, I don't. Will you stop it? People will be ringing up and telling you and clogging the switchboard. Fuja jam, the Fuja jam. Don't encourage these people.
Today I feel lost and alone, so empty inside. My pockets are all full of sand, brought in by the tide. swim through your waters, I feel I'm a part of your soul. And I know all the songs that were sung to the stories you've told. Hear the crack of her bones as you swallow a ship in the night. Hear a call of distress as a friend is swept from my sight. Oh, Mariana, so deep and so blue. Oh, Mariana, none deeper than you. Keep close to the heart of this world and the truth. And maybe one day the sun will shine through. Don't let them steal all your mystery. Locked in the shipwrecks far Tell me, Mariana, how do you keep your heart strong when they rob you and cheat you, even though they know it's wrong? And the weight of the world that surrounds you is too much to bear. I know how it feels when it seems like there's no one who cares. Oh, Mariana, so deep and so blue. Oh, Mariana, none deeper than you. Keep close to the heart of this world and the truth, and maybe one day. Oh, Mariana, so deep and so blue. Oh, Mariana, none deeper than you. Keep close to the heart of this world and the truth, and maybe one day the sun will shine through.
That's a group from Nova Scotia, of all places, called Ashelin. Why do I say of all places? I don't know why. Ashelin, A-S-H-E-L-I-N. That's a song called Song for Mariana, and that's from an album which is called The Road Not Taken. They're trying to get their hands on that very elusive Cores money, I think. Good album. I think they're over here for a bit of a visit. Look, this is the sort of thing I mean. Did you like Barra Best in his new purple suit last night? I think he listened to my criticism of his ill-fitting suits. Now all he needs is a colour consultant. Why does his mammy let him out like that? If I was Barra Best listening to that, I'd be insulted because he's a very snappy dresser. Do you know the way you complain about the way I dress because you think I'm scruffy? I'm a snappy dresser too. People don't understand. There are snappy dressers here.
On 92 to 95 FM
And 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock with the BBC News. This is Keith Burnside. A 4-year-old girl and a pregnant woman were among 6 people who escaped injury in last night's pipe bomb explosion outside a house in West Belfast. Army bomb experts defused another pipe bomb at the nearby home of the well-known Republican Liam Shannon. Mr. Shannon says it's good fortune that no one was hurt in the explosion.
There was a lot of fire and damage to a van which was parked outside a house in the next street to me. Police came and ordered us all away from it, so everybody just sort of melted off and went back to our houses. I was sitting in my house after that, and I was rang by a neighbour to alert me that the police had told him there was a bomb on my wall outside the house.
Some news just in, and a suspicious object has been found close to a community development centre in North Belfast. Part of the Limestone Road and Mount Collier Avenue are sealed off. The Grand Master of the Orange Order is to step down at the end of the year after 14 years. Robert Salter has presided over one of the most difficult periods in the institution's history. The favourite to succeed him is Edward Stevenson, the County Grand Master of Tyrone. But Drew Nelson from the Orange Order says there may be other contenders.
Because Edward is the Deputy Grand Master of the Grand Orange Lodge of Ireland, that there seems to be a feeling out there that he would automatically go up to be Grand Master, but that's not how it works. The position of Grand Master and as Master of any lodge is open to any member of the institution.
An explosion thought to have been caused by a gas leak has destroyed a house and damaged 2 others in Greater Manchester. 10 people are being treated in hospital. One of them is a 76-year-old woman who suffered burns. The oil company BP is back in profit. Its latest results mark a sharp contrast with the loss of £10.6 billion in the previous quarter as it dealt with the massive cost of the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Now the weather with Cecilia Daly.
Bright and blustery with the scattering of sharp showers, which should move through swiftly on the gusty southwest winds. Cloudier skies will move north over southern counties to bring a spell of more persistent rain this afternoon. Temperatures should reach 12 or 13 Celsius, though the breeze will make it feel cooler. This evening, the rain will clear the southeast and winds will continue to ease.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel News.
As mentioned in the news, in North Belfast, both the Limestone Road and Montcollier Avenue have been closed because of a security alert. That's between York Road and North Queen Street. Meanwhile, an oil spill on the roundabout just off the M1 at Blaris is still causing delays for traffic on the A1 coming from the Hillsborough direction. The westbound on-slip off the M1 had been closed for a while, but it has just been reopened. And finally, in the northwest, the A2 Coast Road remains closed at Downhill following Sunday's rockfall. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel News on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, a year in jail for killing his granda. Should the PPS appeal that? There's a fury about this sentence. What's your view? One bomb goes off, another found. What is happening in the St James's area of Belfast? Should prisoners get the vote? Who might they elect? The risque shop that could say knickers to Ballymena. And Lady Gaga, did you see her out and about around Belfast? Was it actually her? Listen in, find out. Talk back at 12.
Can't wait to find out who's going to be the new Grand Wizard. Can't wait on the edge of my seat.
Naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
We need a plan to feed us, a helping hand to guide us. When we understand how to work the land, we will do it for ourselves. It's not enough to say I love you anyway. There is a price to pay for love. You cross the world to find us. You try and understand us. We've lived inside your smile, the tears inside you cry, before you turn and walk away. It's not enough to say I love you anyway. There is a price to pay for love. There is a price to pay for love. It's not enough to say I love you anyway. There is a price to pay for love. This land is unforgiving, makes it hard to live in. When you see a child, look into their eyes. If you were me and I were you, it's not enough to say I love you anyway. There is a price to pay for love. There is a price to pay for love. There is a price to pay for love.
Yeah, it's a nice song. That's called A Price for Love. That's the late Christy Hennessy, of course. And before that was an instrumental called Over the Rainbow. You probably guessed that. And that was from Jeff Beck from an album called Emotion and Commotion. I've got a Christmas charity single here. I'm going to play it for a moment.
There's a man with an unusual instrument on one. I've never said that to you before.
No, that's the first time you've ever said that, and I really, really do wish that you never say it again. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Jerry, sir, no, a recording of an unusual instrument.
Well, I hope that that's the case. What have you got there?
The instrument, according to the sleeve notes here, is a throat trumnet, Trumnet.
Yes.
And it's a vocal interpretation of a trumpet and trombone.
Right. Why would a man go to trouble like that to do that?
Pardon?
Why would a man go to that kind of trouble to make an instrument like that?
He decided that he could do it, and then he found that he could make money. People would listen to it.
That's as good a reason as any. Yeah.
And I have the recording here.
Let's have a listen to it. Now, don't be leaving it on forever.
No. Listen, I tell you what. There's about 10 seconds of
silence.
5 seconds of yodeling, and then I'll give you 10 seconds of the trumpet, all right?
Okay, we'll tolerate the yodeling just to get to the main meat.
Well, yeah, the yodeling is the intro to the trumpet, right? You
Yes.
ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Said my brother, what ails you? The sickness got you this way. His brother never said, 'cause his brother was dead. Been dead since way last May. Oh, did he,
That's just a man That's just a man pretending to be a trumpet. I can do that. I do that in my bath every night.
Trombone and trumpet, and it's called the trumpet. That's Leon Rambo.
I do that in my bath every night.
Well, that's what I thought.
Go away.
Okay.
You
Leave
can't
it with
film.
me.
What?
I'll leave it with you.
Okay, thank you. These people think I'm stupid.
Anna's on too.
That was like a kazoo.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't even a kazoo. It was just a man going.
That's right.
These people, don't they realise that I'm an expert here?
Yeah.
Can fool me.
Can you?
What?
Can you do a trom?
I can't do a trombone.
No.
I was going to tell a story about the trombone, but then I realised I better not tell any more stories. You see, this is what's happened to me now.
No, I've never
Lost
heard.
my
I've
confidence.
never heard the trombone story.
About my arm being too short?
I think we may have. I think we may have. Yes.
You see,
But you tell everyone that about playing the trombone. If you're going to get your child a trombone, make sure his arm's long enough to his or her arm long enough to reach the bottom note.
See, people don't think of that, and people despise me because I tell the same stories, but the point is that many of these stories have a humanitarian point. For instance, there are people perhaps listening to this programme who are thinking of buying their child a trombone and would never think of measuring the child's arm.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to get a trombone at Christmas and couldn't reach the bottom of it?
Do you know your hand? Apparently, your hand's the same size as your foot. Do you know that? If you measured your hand,
yeah,
about say you wear a size 8 shoe, it'll be 8 inches. Your hand. Did you know
Sean.
that?
No, I didn't. But
Mhm.
I'm going to make a note of that.
Mm.
And going to tell.
I don't know if the same applies to girls.
Well, why wouldn't it?
Because they have different shoe sizes.
Well, so we have different
Don't they?
shoe sizes too.
Don't they? But a 5 in a man's is not a 5 in a girl's, isn't it not? Is it, Janice? No.
Will you stop this?
No.
Stop this
I
now.
won't.
Stop it now because it's getting ridiculous. All I'm saying is this.
I'm going to get you a tape measure from Ken.
You will not.
I will. I want
Everybody's
you.
always
I want
measuring-
you
everybody's
privately
always
to measure
measuring,
your
Ken.
hand. No, I want you to do it on
You're
air.
not going to measure my
You
hand.
do it yourself. I just want you
I'm
to
not going to measure my hand with you
conduct this
watching.
experiment on air. You do it. Just measure from your wrist to the tip of your finger. See how many inches it is. And then tell us in advance your shoe size. Let me guess. Looking at your wee feet, I would say you are...
I'm an 8.
I was going to go 7.5 or 8. That would have been great. Right, so I'll get the tape measure. All right?
You will not get a tape
I'll
measure.
get you Ken's tape measure.
Don't you let him in here with a tape measure. He's been wanting to measure me for years. Don't let him here. He won't stop there.
No, you...
Will you stop this? All I'm saying to you is this. Children who are bought a trombone don't realise that there's a very important note. And I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. It may be the B flat. I don't know. But don't ring up if I'm wrong. At the very bottom of the slide, you go...
And there's something about your arm.
I'm not finished yet. There's a very important note at the bottom of the slide, and you cannot play the trombone unless you can reach that bottom note. And it goes... And if you're a small child with a short arm, which I was, you can't reach the bottom note, therefore you can't play the trombone. And then you go, Mummy, I can't reach the note. It goes... And then it's a whole disaster, and you've an unhappy, teary child in your hands at Christmas.
And
So
apparently...
Will you stop talking? Until I finish.
want
You
to
see,
talk
this is the
about-
way I am today.
I want to talk about your arm.
Go right then.
Because you're talking about arms. Apparently, from your elbow to the tip of your finger is your shoulder size. That's with the width of your shoulders.
Do you realise that the human being is designed in such a way that it can reach every single centimetre of its body?
Yes.
Just about.
We're the only animal apparently that can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Did you hear David Attenborough on the other night talking about the opposable finger?
No.
When he was going to see the gorillas, do you remember that particular time when he went to the gorillas?
Yeah, I didn't like it because I thought they'd be full of fleas. I
You
thought,
see, that's one of the things that nobody ever asks them. What did they smell like?
Wash.
Because they've been all shite and everything.
Oh, stop it.
No, but
I was
seriously.
thinking about fleas.
No,
What about
I'm
their
ahead
breath
of you.
like? Would they
Do
foul
you think
breath?
they've got a toilet? Do you know what I mean?
No.
Can you imagine what those gorillas must have smelled like? Do you know the way you smell after 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine what they smell like after being in the jungle for millions of years?
He didn't tell us that.
No, but you see, he's too delicate a person. Nobody ever says to him, David, can I ask you something? What did those gorillas smell like?
Mm.
You know, what was it like when they sat on you? You know? And what he was saying was that when he was going to film the gorillas, the reason why he did it was because he wanted to get close enough to gorillas, and then he was going to turn around to the camera and say, the difference between the gorilla and Homo sapiens is very, very slight. One of the reasons why man has evolved further is because of the existence of the opposable finger and thumb. Without the opposable finger and thumb, a marsupial, or indeed a bipedal, cannot grasp branches and cannot move from tree to tree.
It's a strange accent he's developing. What's that noise in the background?
It's the noise of my heart beating. Anyway, he decided he was going to do that thing about the opposable finger and thumb. And he's going to stand in front of him, and then he was just about to start it, and one of the gorillas came out and sat on him. And he said to himself, maybe this is not the time to talk about the opposable finger and thumb. And then the other big gorilla came over and put his finger in his mouth. And
That's
David
right.
Attenborough's mouth.
Yeah.
His finger in his mouth.
Uh-huh.
What would you have done then?
You certainly wouldn't have bit it.
You'd have ran away, wouldn't you?
But I'd love to know if they're big fleas.
Same fleas as us.
No,
is there someone on the line here?
I wouldn't imagine so.
Is there someone on the line here?
Yes, two.
Who is it?
Anna.
Anna, good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Jerry. Jerry, do you know that there's a beautiful photo of you and Norman Wisdom in the shop window in High Street in Belfast?
No, that. Is it Snappy Snaps?
It's beautiful.
Is it in Snappy Snaps?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of photographs in there. People have told me before.
It's beautiful.
Is it really?
Well, why don't you get it? Because Don's priceless, and it's a lovely photo.
And he's died recently. I think I will get that.
Yes, it's in the front of the window. I was walking down and I said, there's your man. No, I wasn't talking about Norman Wisdom, I was talking about you.
Ah.
But it's a lovely photo.
I must call in and maybe he would sell it to me. Is it for sale, I wonder?
It's in the window. I'm sure he would.
I'm sure he would. He might even give it to me for nothing.
He might give it to you for nothing if you let him take one and put one of yourself in his place.
If he'd give it to me for nothing, I'll let him do anything.
Jerry, I would get that photo because Norman Wisdom's doing his mimicky face with you, and it's a very good photo.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I must go down. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that existed. I must go down and get that. I'd like that for my collection.
Yes, I would think so. That's why I rang you.
Thank you very much, love. I'll do that shortly. If the man from Snappy Snaps is listening, I'll be down at the weekend to get
Get
that
him on the phone and ask him to hold it for you.
All right, then.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Gentleman
That's the one
says-
thing I'll never forgive you for.
What?
That's one thing I'll never forgive you for.
What?
When you told me, when you had your big television show.
Yes.
And I had a little part in it. And you used to say to me, he says, no, don't ask people to be photographed. No, don't get your photograph taken with them. I said, no, you're right. She says, they don't like that. But you always managed to get your photograph taken with them.
I
You
just
didn't want
you
me
to get
anywhere
your
near
photograph
them.
taken. I just didn't want you to get your photograph taken
No.
with them. I only wanted me.
I know.
Hello, Cheech and Chong. I see that your institution will be on strike on the 15th. Are we on strike on the 15th, 16th? 2 days off. Can we expect to see Nolan on the picket line demanding that his exorbitant wages are linked to the price of prawn cocktail crisps and personal trainers? You see, there's another man. See, Nolan, the abuse that man gets. But does it get him down? Yes. A black Labrador cross is missing from the Mahrefeld area on Sunday night. The dog is chipped. Contact the show. 08459 555 678. These are various messages of things lost and found. We have to do this before we go. Irene Drake from County Down celebrated her birthday last week. Can I wish Irene a belated happy birthday? Happy birthday, Irene.
It just shows you how much he knows, look, Janet. No?
A caller has 2 Lady Gaga tickets for sale for tonight's concert in Belfast. Please contact the show.
Norman, former trombone player.
Yes.
says you can buy an extension arm for the trombone slide.
Smart arse.
Well, there you are.
A 7-year-old boxer dog has gone missing from the Money Glass area since Saturday night. Contact the show. I would say that's vaguely connected to the fireworks. Maureen is looking for a second-hand Northern Ireland jersey for a 9-year-old boy.
Why second-hand?
I don't know. I don't ask these people anything. Great to hear Christy Hennessy on your programme today. He's gone, but his music lives on, says Brendan Houston. Absolutely right.
I don't believe this. That your neck is half your waist measurement.
You see, you started all this. You
I
see,
don't
this is
believe
all
that.
these quiz things. You see,
No, I
once
don't
you
think
start
so.
that, I hate you starting that because then they all ring in.
Conference.
Good luck to John Harley, who's in Galvin Hospital here in our city. He's a big fan of the programme. He hasn't resigned yet.
No, Janice pointed out it is not good luck to John Harley in Galvin.
It's get well soon.
Yes, but why did
to
you say
John
good
Harley.
luck to him?
Never you mind what I say. I'll say what I like.
Because Janet pointed it out.
What's the difference between good luck and get well soon? It's the same thing.
I don't think so.
It's the
Janet
same
said it's
thing.
not. Janet said
it's
she
the
would.
same thing. Get well soon then to
Yeah.
John Harley's in Galvin Hospital. John, I'm sorry these people have to argue over the wording here. John is a big fan of the programme. Speedy recovery from all his family. And good luck.
That's better. You can add good luck at the end.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Was Janet pointed it out?
Janet tells you not to stop pointing stuff out. I've got a letter here from Warren Point. Every once in a while, I like to tell the people what's going on in the distant outposts of our empire. Dear Gerry, the big push is on at present, organised by the local council and community partnership, to wage an all-out war against dog owners who allow their dogs to foul either in gateways, on the beach, or over at the marina near the Osborne Promenade. These are the flashpoints for the dog owners who creep out after dark to carry out their vile efforts, and very few of them pick up their little droppings and put them in paper. A local lady expressed her regret to me during the week when some dog owner allowed their pet to foul the footpath outside the post office, making it an obstacle for many pensioners who are there to collect their money. Another problem in Warren Point is there has been no swimming pool for the last 30 years. In spite of all the rich statements we read either in the provincial or local press about the growth of tourism, it seems to have stopped short at Warren Point. The only swimming pools available are in Newry or at Kilkeel. It is hoped the ever-ready SDMP and MLA member might do the needful. Thankfully, there are a number of dedicated locals who have set up the Save Our Baths action group, and they are bringing to light the dire need of swimming facilities in the area. Due to cuts introduced by Westminster, the flitting blonde women who are scantily clad seem to have fallen away. No more do they either smoke, drink their lager or beer, nor make light under the light standards. That's all in the past. It's all up in Newry now. Now that it's a city, they're flocking to it. There's a constant procession of youthful ladies in colourful attire, wearing hardly anything, flitting up and down Francis Street, smoking cheroots and cigars. Summing up the situation, they're all living for the day. It's great to be young and carefree, with an odd sniff to help them along. I blame X Factor. Give it to me. I want it all. Give it to me now. I'm glad to see that our local councillor is having the trees in Upper St. George's Street cut back. There's another problem in this street, and it is a huge puddle that lies on the road after a heavy rain shower, opposite the local Orange Lodge. Many passers-by have just narrowly missed having their clothes destroyed by dirty water when careless motorists zoom by. I might add the overgrowing tree at the Arbour House in Lower Great George's Street also requires a little hard pruning. Before I wind up, John Fisher will be along to the local Methodist Church Hall on Tuesday, the 9th of November, to deliver a talk at 8:15 p.m. to the Warren Point Historical Group about the one-time Fisher shipping line. And also the Newry and Mourne Senior Citizens Consortium will be holding an electric blanket test for possible defects from 10 a.m. until 4 in the Town Hall in Warren Point. I want you to go to that and report back. They're testing electric blankets in the town hall. I want you to go and see what the excitement is all about. Because
Apparently,
after all, these are things that aren't covered on Radio Ulster. And I blame Linda McCauley.
Your arm span is the same as your height.
Will you shut up? Here's a Christmas single.
I watch the city I wish I wasn't here, lost in the snow glow, full of festive fear, stuck in the snow glow. Get me out of here. There's something blue about December. I know the fear will be here soon. Another year is almost gone. Here comes another one. It's a sad old winter moon. I'm stuck in the snow glow, full of festive fear, lost in the snow glow. Get me out of here, out of here. Empty days, silent nights, all is still, all is white. Loneliness falls with the silence of snow. Lost in a snow glow, full of festive fear. I'm stuck in a snow glow, surrounded by festive cheer. I'm in a snow glow, humble. Get me out of here, out of here. Get me out of the snow glow, out of the snow glow.
That's Gareth Pearson. That's a track, instrumental, of course. You would have guessed that already. It's called Blue Smoke, and that's from an album which is called Urban Echoes Volume 1. You see, this is what's wrong with this programme. And I feel as if, you know, we're not getting the interviews that we should be getting. This programme is going over, well, it's going over the heads of the ordinary people because we're too cynical and we're too world-weary.
What about we? What's this we?
Oh, well, me. I am. Yeah. And we're not doing things that people are... Now, here's an interview opportunity which you have seen and you've passed up on this, and you should be alerting me to this. We missed this one. Here's one, an opportunity to interview Ruth Langford, who is a This Morning presenter and mother, about why people are terrified to go to the schools to meet their their children's teachers?
Well, Janet and I discussed that, and Janet says no.
Wasn't for me?
Well, it wasn't for you, yeah.
Because, I mean, wrist circumference doubled equals neck measurement. You see, you started this.
Right.
Double that again, it's your waist measurement. Look at your waist, right?
Yes.
Your wrist,
Mm-hmm.
double that, that's your neck.
Right.
Double that again, it's your waist measurement. But I've seen some people, if you did that, if you applied that to Nolan, his wrist will be the same as King Kong's. It's not your hand size, apparently. It's your forearm length, says Graham.
No, we checked that out. It doesn't
And
work.
Graham says if you see him after class, he'll measure your forearm.
No, we have Ken's tape measure here.
Uh-huh.
That's it there. Hear it.
Don't be bringing that in here.
Well, I'm going to leave it in with you.
Don't bring it in here, I said. I don't want Ken's tape
My
measure.
hand is, if from tip of the finger to the wrist, is 8 inches. I wear a size 8.5 shoe. So that'd be right.
What do you mean that would be right?
You have to have some room for your toes to wiggle.
Dear Mr. Anderson, on last night's weather report, to which you referred to more specifically Barabest's new suit, the more eagle-eyed like myself would have noticed that in place of his name on the screen, it actually said presenter's name. Didn't notice his suit or the weather report for that matter concerned. I was that the dapper newsreader was changing his name by deed poll live on air. Maybe he's going to call himself, maybe that's his name now. He's changed his name to presenter's name. Perhaps he thinks that with such a utilitarian name, he'd be able to ply his trade anywhere in the world. After all, there is a recession, and he might know of cutbacks at the Beeb, which indeed we are all suffering under, swinging cuts. That's all. Keep talking rubbish, and how's a wee bit of rye cooter to remind themins that think Americana is a new phenomenon. Vaguely Eye into the Purple Valley is a fantastic album, says JB. Thank you, JB, for that contribution. All contributions welcomed. Sorry. I'm reading something. You see, people are... Look at all this.
What?
It's all different measurements in the part of your body. See, when you start this kind of thing, it brings the weirdos out. Do you not realise that? People are sitting at home measuring their ankles. These are the people that are... Their ears are pricking up, saying, oh, there's somebody like me. And they're all ringing up, telling me what their ankles are. Look at all this stuff here. I can't go through all that.
Well, what about Stuart?
Well, where is he?
One.
Sorry to be so touchy, Stuart.
I'm here, across in the Far East.
Oh, sorry, what did you say?
I'm here in Norwich, in the Far East.
In the Far East, yeah, in Norwich, yeah.
Yeah.
Good man, yeah.
I'm off work, and I've got my feet... I have to put my feet up for a little while.
Uh-huh.
And the best programme, Gerry. Fantastic.
Well, thank you for that, but I'm under pressure, you know.
Well, you never sound as though you are.
Well, I'm a rain of criticism. People are saying they're fed up listening to my stories.
Pay no attention.
I'm trying not to.
They should hear some of the English region BBC stations.
I know people don't realise what goes on over there.
They just got no idea how good you are.
Well, thank you. I did a thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say something to you now.
Who?
Go on.
I did a thing years ago when I had my first book published, which did very well in the charts, actually. And when I did publish it, I was sent over to London, and I was asked to go down to the bowels of the BBC.
Dear, oh dear.
There's a little room in there where everybody goes to be interviewed by everyone in England. You see, so what happened was that the people contact all the local radio stations, and all the radio stations, if they want to interview you, they interview you for a whole day. So you're sitting there from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night, and a man from Radio Stoke, a man from Radio Norwich, who would that be?
Tony Mallion?
No, what do you call him?
Radio Norwich. I know, yeah.
No, but seriously, and all those people...
Immortalised forever, aren't we?
That's not fair. And anyway, all these guys would interview you see. And I was being interviewed all the time, and suddenly I realised no matter where you went, it was Radio Wales or Radio Newcastle or Radio Norwich or Radio... It was the same... It seemed to be the same guy, because he sounded exactly the same and was asking me the same things. The only one who was different was a guy from Radio Scotland who was very cheeky, and I enjoyed him because he was a horrible wee shite. And I really enjoyed him because the rest of them just like identikit broadcasters.
Just too nice.
Yeah, too nice, and ask you all the same things and weren't listening to a word you were saying.
Well, I've been listening to you talking about trombones.
Well, you see, this is instructive. I mean, you won't get Chris Moyles telling people how to hit the bottom note in a trombone, will you?
Trombone, no. And the other thing I want to add, you can add to your advice.
You can what?
You can add to your advice for trombone playing. always keep a nice pot of grease fat to slide up and down the slides so that your trombone goes backwards and forwards with ease.
That's right. My brother actually, he saw a famous trombone player one time with, do you know those little lemons? Little plastic lemons that you squirt stuff out of?
Yes.
Well, he saw this guy with a little plastic lemon when he was playing, and he was doing the slide of his trombone. And he went, oh, that's great. So he went into a shop and he bought some lemon juice. And he started to squirt it on the slide and practically destroyed it. He didn't realise that the guy was just using the container and not the actual lemon juice. Anyway,
that would not have worked up and down Carlisle Road, which is where I played the cornet, and my wife played the trombone, and other people played other instruments in the Surrey Army Band. That's why I'm ringing you. Because as we come on to Christmas,
yes.
The band at Derry there on Carlisle Road will be out and about playing carols. And I just wanted to give them all my regards.
Oh, I know your band. I often see them every Christmas, and they're lovely sound.
Makes Christmas.
Oh, it's great. Are you not with the band anymore? Obviously,
no, not with the army anymore, but a very, very soft spot for them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when I say the army, I mean the Salvation Army.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about that. All those days are over.
Good. Good. Well, now, can I just say my love to just a couple of people?
Go ahead.
Everybody that knows Stuart and Daphne, Abercorn Road.
Yes.
The lovely Siobhan Heatley in Austin's on the Perfume Bar.
Yes.
Pat McNulty and Anne Semple. Everybody at Lisnhill College, and also across there, Sculamura in Buncrana.
All right then. Okay.
Lovely.
Lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, lovely to listen. All the best to Derry.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, congratulations to Derry City.
Oh, thank you on the
Brilliant.
City of Culture. Thank you. Or the football thing.
The team.
Everything. All right,
Everything.
then. Thank you.
Everything. I love you all. Take care.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Isn't that nice? There's a band called 10 Sheds. Go Out of the Weekend, it's called.
Go out on the weekend, see my baby. She's haunting me, and all I think of when I'm falling slowly to sleep again is her eyes falling out. Where shall remain? Count down the time until I see her. When these emotions start to stir, and my heart will race again. All the blood rushing to my face. She'll go shy, so cute and shy, with such poetic grace. Why can't we be like an island, nothing surrounding her and me? No distraction, no voiced reactions. Just her, the world, the sky and the sea. Oh, my love, my love and me. On the street and the bars, I'll hold it tightly. I say, is this forever? She says it might be. And I can't help to fall some more, ever closer to where I need to be. Because she, oh she makes me. Why can't we be like an island, nothing nothing surrounding her and me. No distraction, no voice reactions, just her, the world, the sky and the sea. Oh my love, my love and me. Why can't we be like an island? Nothing surrounding her and me. No distraction, no voiced reactions, just her, the world, the sky and the sea. Oh my love, my love and me. And I'm a fool, I know. Loved her, can't let him go. But why should I, when it don't feel wrong? Fate, well maybe. All I know, this love will save me.
That's 10 Sheds, a strange name, I suppose, and that's an album called Crazy Beautiful, and that's a track called Go Out on the Weekend. Some messages here from a gentleman says, could you ask Manners, who listens every day from Belfast, to ring Scalacci in Sydney, Australia, and tell him that he needs that tenor back, as he's getting it quite tight. Well, there we are. Now, here's an extension. Here's a good idea. We were talking about Barabest changing his name to Presenter's Name.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And apparently there's another ramification there. It's a suggestion that do you know the way a lot of people pay a lot of money to get personalised nameplates?
Mm.
I mean, if you want to get Coil 1 or whatever,
yeah,
what should that cost you?
Don't know.
Cost you a fortune, probably. You probably wouldn't get it anyway. It'd probably be CO5LE1, that kind of thing. Coffee Bar 1.
I like my number, 1066.
1066?
That's my car number, yeah. I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good number, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lady called Michelle suggests that if people who want their personalised number plate do what she did, she changed her name to XYZ3214. You have no sense of humour. No, you haven't. Anyway, there's more talk here. Did you see someone on the line here? Did you?
I did, but there was something I was going to say to you.
Am I leaving somebody out here?
No, Barbara's there.
Where is she?
I've never bothered you before.
I know.
Keeping people
No,
waiting.
I just didn't know if there's anyone there or not. I don't mind keeping people waiting as long as I know they're there.
Jordy wanted to tell you something, and Janet said she would ring him back, but Jordy hasn't put his phone back in the cradle.
Good. That's excellent. Okay, where's Barbara, I wonder?
Barbara's
Hello?
on one.
Hello,
No.
Barbara. Barbara, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Good morning.
Hello, Barbara, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
I'm ringing you up about a cat. I know you don't normally do cat things.
I do, of course, do cats all the time.
Well, there's this most gorgeous cat has been found. He's a huge monster of a thing, and he's just a big fur ball. He's black with white markings, and I've taken some photographs of him.
Yes.
Someone's put a cardboard box out for him to live in, and people are feeding him, but he's obviously used to being handled.
Uh-huh.
I thought maybe someone had moved away from the area and the cat had made its way back or something. It's the Mount Sandal area of Coleraine that he's in.
Okay, yeah, nice part of the country, as John Bennett would say. I wish
But
I
if
was.
didn't-
I wish I was
Sorry?
used to being handled.
Well, I approached him and he came up and he was rubbing all around me and I lifted him and he didn't scratch or anything, he just cuddled in. So he's obviously someone's pet.
All right, then. What does it look like?
He's huge. He's mostly black. with little white markings on his face and so on. And he has long, long fur and huge big whiskers and huge big feet. And if I didn't have cats, I tell you, I would have taken him home.
It's just not a puma or something, or a panther?
He's just gorgeous.
Is it? How big is it?
Gosh, about the size of a small dog, basically. Bigger than a poodle.
It's not fat, though, is it? It's not fat.
No,
it's
he's
just big.
just a big cat.
Okay.
I've taken photographs of him, so if anyone thinks it may be theirs, if they want to ring me, I can send them the photographs.
All right, then, okay. Anyone who thinks that the cat might be theirs, give you a ring and you send her a photograph of it, and if the cat's theirs, you can have it.
Yeah, I'll be in town tomorrow, so I'll stick a poster in the pet shop down in Coleraine and maybe one over in the vets on the Port Stewart Road.
All right, then, good girl, you're doing the right thing. Thank you very much indeed.
Just with the bad weather coming up, it's a shame to see a wee cat in a cardboard box.
It's not weather fit for man or beast to be out in the open air.
Not. He needs central
Absolutely.
heating and a knee to sit on.
It's not as if we're in Barbados.
No.
We can't exist outside in bananas. All right, thank you very much, love.
Thank you very much, Gerry. Have
Thank
a lovely
you.
day.
Thank you
Bye.
very much. Bye. Bye. These poets are writing to me again. Look, there's...
I want to ask you something.
What?
You know the weatherman? We're talking about Barra Best and Angie.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Angie's not a man.
But you understand, the weather person.
Uh-huh.
What do they do? What do they do? What do they do all day long?
They
in
monitor
office?
the weather.
But do they come into the office and take off their coat and stand and look out the window?
No, they don't.
How do they get
they
the
are
weather?
geared into the meteorological office and they're constantly updated. Don't you think that they do a
Do they just make
worthwhile
phone
job?
calls?
They don't make phone calls.
What
They
do they
monitor
do?
the weather. They monitor the weather.
Yeah, but
they
they
have
just sit at a
access
screen.
to all the fronts and
Yes.
the cold fronts, the warm fronts, and they've access to the winds and the rains. And they make a judgment.
All right.
Because these are weather people.
Yes.
They're not just presenters. It's not like Frank Mitchell.
I know that. Frank
just stands there and
makes
reads
it
whatever
up.
he's told.
That's right.
You see, Frank. Oh, I'll tell you the weather in 25 minutes. Why don't you tell us now?
Okay.
Why did he say, I'll tell you the weather in 25 minutes?
I'll be
Why
live.
did he just say, I'll tell you the weather now?
I'll be live with the weather in 25
I'll be live with the
minutes.
weather in 25 minutes, as if you're going to wait for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes, right.
These poets are writing to me, why is Patrick Kavanagh? No, is Patrick Kavanagh not dead? He died in 1967. He's writing to me. Maybe you can't trust the post office, I swear.
Geordie's on too.
That sounds like a threat. Geordie, hello?
Hello, Gerry.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm not too bad.
I believe you have some good reason to talk to me today. I don't know what
do
it
you
is.
want a couple of pheasants for Christmas?
Pheasants?
A cock and a hen.
I don't think so, because it would mean you slaughtering them.
No, well, they're dead and ready.
Dead and ready? Already?
Well, you have to hang them,
No, but why do you just kind of cut their throats like normal people?
No. They have to be hung.
Oh, you mean they're hung after they're dead? That sounds to me very unappetizing, I have to be honest with you. No, Geordie, no, thank you. Thank you for the offer, but I think I'll pass on the pheasant.
Before I go,
Yes.
Whitey.
Pardon?
Whitey. I call him Whitey.
Whitey? Yes.
He's a wee young buck goat. All his jingles, jangles all on him.
Yes.
And anyone is looking, and nanny goat served. Send them here.
Right.
Right.
Whitey.
Whitey.
Will he have a cigarette after, will he?
Well, no, he's partial, to the devil of the critter.
Mm-hmm. I just want to bring you back.
What?
I just want to bring you back for a moment. You said that Whitey has all his jingle jangles.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's too,
Stop. Okay, then. In other words, what you're saying is it's perfectly capable of
Yes.
Right. Now, I know there's a charge for this. Is he knocking them out in ones or knocking them out in twos?
Twos.
He knock them out in twos?
See, there's a big nanny come.
Yes. Now, what is the charge for this? I mean, if now, hold on a second. Let's a hypothetical situation. I am the owner of a nanny goat. The nanny goat requires covered.
I had
served.
to lift Whitey up on a bale of straw. For the nanny goat was too big. Right?
I think I had a situation like that once in
you?
America in 1984.
Well,
yes. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
I
No.
lifted wee Whitey up.
So somebody somebody has to put him up to it.
I lift them up and
All right.
set them in a bit of straw.
That's okay. Oh, it's okay. Now, I've got a nanny goat, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a big nanny goat.
Ah, big nanny goat.
And I said to myself, I need a billy goat that can be lifted up to this one. So I go to you. And you get a bale of straw. And you put Whitey up on it.
Whitey up.
And it's every man for himself.
Oh, he done his job.
How much?
What he did, how's your far?
Is your mother still working? Now, how much will you charge for...
I charge her £8.
£8 a go? Oh, that seems a bargain to me.
Well,
all right, then. So there you are. Anyone out there who needs a goat served, £8 a rattle, I think perhaps is the expression.
For wee Whitey.
For wee Whitey. And you'll put him up to it. Okay, excellent. We'll see.
Do you want them presents?
No, Geordie, I don't. Thank you very much indeed, because I'm not terribly fond of game. It's too rich for me.
Oh.
I prefer the traditional chicken or turkey.
Oh.
At least you know where they've been. All right, Geordie, thank you for that.
Thank you, and may Lord be good to you, my friend.
Thank you. Maybe perhaps Mr. Coyle will be interested in a pheasant or two.
We shall talk after the programme.
He wants them.
Very
He
much.
wants them.
Okay.
Charge them plenty.
Hey, I will.
Tell Whitey I was asking for him.
Yes.
That was a little too much information.
Hold down my hand and I feel yours, and it's warm to the touch. Never did I want it, never thought I'd feel like this. Always thought it'd be too much. Oh, my head's a whirlwind, it's a storm. Yeah, it's raging, tearing at my soul, knocking on my heart. Time I just gave in.
Oh, that's the record I played before. That's 10 Sheds. That might be a wee bit too similar to the last one. Here's another one. Here's the one I meant to play. See how quick it is? See how long it takes me to figure out I played the wrong record? Like a minute.
Was in the summer, not in the fall.
Spent all our money on alcohol.
And now you're gone,
Solid gone.
I don't worry,
You should be worried.
'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Never have one girl at a time.
Oh, don't I know it?
Always have me 6, 7, 8, or 9. But now she's gone,
Oh, I'm
and I
gone.
don't worry,
He don't worry.
'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. If you see me stealing, don't you tell on me. I'm just stealing back to old used to be.
Now I'm gone. You don't worry, do you, baby?
'cause I'm sitting on top of the world.
That's Willie Nelson, of course, and Elizabeth McQueen from an album called Willie and the Wheel. Back tomorrow.
Keep talking about leaving. Let's see if you can.
Or I can get a woman quick as you can get a man. And now you're gone,
Long gone.
and I don't worry,
You should be worried.
'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. In the summer, not in the fall, spent all my money on alcohol. And now you're gone,
Long gone.
and I don't worry,